Good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank you for joining me, Lawana Hodges, YBC, Youth Building Conversation. I hope you guys enjoying your Friday. In some parts of the country, it's raining, storming, so I'm hoping you guys home safe somewhere, especially all the Florida family that may be watching. I hope you guys are safe. This evening, I have a pleasure sitting down with my girlfriend, my friend, Theresa Smalls, aka TC. How you doing, ma'am?
I'm doing just wonderful. How about yourself?
I am great. I am great. We ain't got to be too formal. We know each other.
Okay.
So, how's the grandbaby going? She's sitting right next to you.
Yes, it's always attached to the hip, just like our mama used to be.
Well, before we get into this interview, so I just want to give a little background on how I know TC. Our kids grew up together. She is my daughter's god mommy, Sierra's god mommy. But this is a different type of interview that you guys going to be hearing, and it's one that's going to inspire you. It's one that's going to keep you motivated. It's one that is a little tragedy, but God has the last say so, and God always win at the end. So just sit back, get some popcorn, get some juice or some wine, and just sit back as we get to know Theresa Smalls and her journey through her life thus so far. We have the grandbaby there right there. So the grandbaby's
Wait a
gonna
minute,
be.
Tony.
This is real live. This is real live. So the grandbaby's gonna be here too. So so if you hear the grandbaby, it's okay. We're gonna keep moving. So TC, I always ask the person that I'm about to interview if you can pray us in, and then we can go from there.
Sure will. Dear Jehovah, we come before you this day, thanking you so much for this day of life, thanking you for all the blessings that you bestow upon us, thanking you for just giving us the daily bread or waking us up so we can enjoy the day. Not only enjoy the day, but inspire those who might be hiding behind the cameras. And I am one of those ones that has a tendency to fall back, not wanting too much attention on myself. So I ask that your Holy Spirit be a part of this interview and help me calm my nerves and just let whatever come out and not be disrespectful to anyone. I thank these things and all things through your son Christ Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen, amen, amen. So I always ask the question: who is Theresa Smalls, aka TC?
Well, I am the only one. When they made me, they broke the mold. I'm a 55-year-old divorcee, but still happy. And my spirit can be contagious sometimes.
Okay, so I always ask this question: how has the past 4 years affected you and your family?
The past 4 years, well, I've been grieving 4 years or more. I have a great grandbaby in between the 4 years and just taking life one day at a time.
Okay, I always ask that because my platform was created and born out of COVID. So I know everybody experienced different things going through COVID. So I always in was about 4 years. Yeah. We're in four
Yeah,
years of COVID now. So I always ask that question, even though we know COVID ain't gone away, but it's not, we don't talk about it as much, but we still know
right.
it's around. So I always ask that question. So can you give me 5 adjectives that describes yourself?
Um, I'm beautiful, powerful. Um, I'm caring, plain, and laid back.
Okay. So where was you born and raised? Tell it.
I
What
was
town you
born
born?
in Washington, D.C. I must say I was raised between Washington, D.C. and Temple Hills, Maryland.
Okay,
So
okay.
I moved to Maryland when I was about 5, 6 years old. But I always went to school in Washington, D.C.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, back then they wasn't. Back then they wasn't catching folks. Now they catching folks that don't
All
live
right,
in
we
Detroit.
ain't asked you to say all that part, but yeah, that is the case nowadays. But yes, we always used my aunt address, and then from my aunt address, my mom started using her I guess you can call it boyfriend mother's address.
Right. So you have a unique story to tell. By telling your story, what do you want the people to take away from your experience and what you have gone through?
Well, it's a lot of background to my story to bring you up to speed. I don't know if I should share now or share later. But what I do want you to take from my story is always be true to yourself. Um, you got a lot of people that don't have good intentions.
Mm.
They will bring you down, but negativity, I didn't let it play a big part in my life after my surgery. But yeah, just be true to yourself and be real to others.
Okay. So you had many losses in your lifetime. Can you speak to one or two or three of your losses?
So my biggest loss was the death of my son. No, my son wasn't tragically killed by nobody. He wasn't sickly. When people ask me, was my son sick? My son wasn't sick as to he had to stay in the hospital or anything like that. It was just a misdiagnosis from the medical team.
Mm.
And it caused me a great loss. I'm just going to say that. And it happened so fast. When I say it happened so fast, I just never knew that day would be the last day I saw my son alive.
Mm. Wow, wow, wow. I did it, Mama.
So
So,
if you want me to give you a little bit of history, I'll just give you a little bit of history. And my dates has never changed. My dates stayed the same no matter what. I was that kind of parent that was, my kids call it doing too much, but I was that parent that was always in my kids' business. And what I mean by that is, first of all, you know your child. If you a mother, you know your child. So on August the 8th, my son was telling me he couldn't hardly breathe. So my son had asthma, but he only had exercise induced asthma. So he knew how to give himself the Buterol treatment. So he did that. So I was out at a convention and he called me and, give me that, honey. And he was like, Ma, I need to go to the hospital. So we came home and we sitting down, me and my husband at the time, and he was like, I gotta go now. So when Moosey say something and he said in the tone that he said in, he means now. So we took him to the hospital down here in Southern Maryland, August the 8th. Um, they gave him another Buterol treatment for whatever reason, I don't know. And they also did a chest x-ray. So when the doctor came in, showed us the x-ray, he said everything was okay, go back to the primary care physician. We did that. But Moosey was getting worse as the
mm,
days go by because they was like, give him the Buterol treatment every 30, 45 minutes. I really don't remember what time it was, but it was constantly. So on August the 18th, my son's chest had swelled. It looked a little swollen to me, and I was like, that's not the norm. Called his primary care doctor. Primary care doctor said, go to emergency room. We go to the emergency room, y'all. This August the 18th. So we must have sat in the waiting room for about 3 hours, and my son was getting antsy. He was getting antsy. So the triage nurse took it upon herself. She went and had an x-ray done. They wouldn't do the CAT scan because they
mm,
said he didn't merit the CAT scan. So she came out there. She said she understood. So she saw my son was in distress. So she went and cleared the bed off for me. And by the time they cleared the bed off, they compared the two x-rays from August the 8th and August the 18th. So the left side of Moosey chest was whited out. Couldn't see nothing. So at this time, it's an emergency. So they was like, Miss Smalls, we can't treat him here. We gonna have to send him to Children's Hospital. I said, okay. How am I to get there? Oh, you don't have to do nothing. Blah 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 blah. Long story short, they medevac Moosey to Children's
Children's.
Hospital. We was down in the emergency room just for a little bit, and they was like they was gonna do this procedure on him the next day, which would have been that Tuesday. So they allowed me to stay in the room with him because they said it was a small procedure. That was it, y'all. When I say that was it, that was it. When the last thing I heard my son say was, ouch. They had cut him in his side and they knew he was, having some type of difficulty. So they gave him some more and pain medication. Yeah, when I seen that doctor jump on top of my son and start doing chest compressions, I knew that was it. They
Yeah.
asked me to leave the room. I went to the room where my husband was at the time. They came back and got me and my husband and told us that everything was okay. By the time me and my husband, and it wasn't a long walk, it was probably from my front room to my bedroom back there. That's how far apart we were from his room. By the time we got to where my son was, it was about 10, 15 doctors on top of my son doing chest compressions. Last thing I heard was no heartbeat. My life changed. Again, my life changed.
Wow.
It's devastating. And that's the only picture I keep seeing is them trying to bring my son back to life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that. Cause I know him as my nephew. And my kids grew up
Yeah.
with him. And my kids took it hard. We all took it hard. Couldn't believe that it happened. But I know, how do you keep his legacy alive?
Well, I never talk about Moosey in the past tense. I always talk about him in the present. And not only do I just talk about him, um, my family never talk about him in the past either. Um, I have pictures of him. My grandbaby know that's uncle. Um, of course, I have this charm here of my son. I still have some of his clothes, his trophies. He was an awesome
Mhm.
football player, guys.
Yeah.
Awesome football
Mhm.
player. I knew he was going to go somewhere with his football. I knew he was going to go somewhere. He had different people scouting him from different teams, and like he was a celebrity. And I used to look at him and I'd be like, no, you're not that one just yet. You're not that one. I put his name on my license plate. So, and I try to go to the cemetery on the date of his death and the date of his birthday because he passed on August the 18th and his birthday
Mhm.
is August 31st.
Yeah.
So I try to go there and lay flowers, and I know he's not there. I know I do know that, but if that's what brings me comfort, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah. So
I
what can you?
apologize, y'all.
Oh, no, 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 no. Don't never apologize. Don't never. I thank you for sharing your story. What can you say to other parents that may have lost a child? Um,
Um,
and the best way to wake up every morning and continue to live, because it's hard.
well, one thing that I do want to share with you guys is grief is hard. Um, one thing that I do want you guys to know is everybody has their own story. So whatever your child did or didn't do, that's just who they were to you. My child, he couldn't do no wrong. Even though I know my son was Moosey, everybody know Moosey was a little mischievous. He just played too much. But that was my son. So can't nobody tell your story about your child but you. And I just learned to accept that. Um, he's gone. Don't ever feel like God took your child away from you, because God didn't take your child. I always remember the beginning of the Bible where when Adam and Eve sinned, he pronounced death on them. So it's because of sin and imperfection. That's why my son is not here no more. It's not because God wanted him with him. Those are my beliefs. You believe what you want to believe, that, but that's my belief. I know God didn't take my son, because if that's the case, we sin every day and sometimes we don't even know it.
Yeah.
That was the reason for the ransom, to give us hope.
Yeah.
So that's my belief. I don't believe nobody did nothing for to him. And then there's another saying that goes on that says something to the fact about the scriptures say you reap what you sow, but other people be like, God don't like ugly, or it's gonna come back on you 10 times, and that's why she lost her child because I did something bad. I don't believe none of those myths, none of those.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
your grief is your grief, and can't nobody tell you how to grieve, when to
Hmm.
grieve, and how long it's going to take you to grieve.
Yeah.
There's no time limit on grief at all.
No, it's not. It really isn't. So in the midst of grieving, you had another life situation alteration in your life. Can you please share on that?
Yeah, so we're going to go back.
Okay.
So my surgery was actually before my son's death.
Okay.
So I had a life-changing surgery in 2012. But I'm gonna go back a little bit just to bring you up to the 2012. So my family, when I say my family, I'm talking about my extended aunts, my cousins, and all them. They don't know the real story about half my me and my siblings' life. Um, I just remember at the age of 5 or 6, between the age of 5 or 6, my mom moved with this guy. Um, my sister always tell me that my mother was manipulated. Go use the bathroom now. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. Excuse me. My sister always tell me that my mother was manipulated because she was so young. I get that, guys, to a certain extent. My mom was 2023, and the guy that courted her, or whatever you want to call it, he was 30, 40 years older than her. I understand that. But as a parent, your maternal paternal instincts kick in some kind of way. Long story short, my mom moved with this guy. This guy was abusive, not only to my mom but to my siblings. He used to beat my mom breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Not only did he beat her, he started beating on her kids. He molested me as well as one of my other sisters. He ended up shooting my brother in the head in
Mm.
1986. And I guess I was 12 years old in the 7th grade. I do know that. This guy, he broke my collarbone. And I don't know what story my mom told my aunt, or if she told her anything, but yeah, we was physically abused almost damn near every day.
Mm.
So fast forward to 2012, I started experiencing numbness, tingling, and my legs would just give out. And they ran all these tests and they couldn't find anything. So what happened was I had a lump on the right side of my neck. And the lump that was on the right side of my neck sent me to my doctor. My doctor then gave me a referral to see the I can't call the name of the doctor, but he was checking for my thyroids. I don't have any thyroids. I had a thyroidectomy in 2002. So they got to doing the X-ray and the scan and okay. They got to doing got to doing the scan and everything. So they end up sending me to get an emergency I don't know how to respond to that. Emergency CT scan, which was on a Wednesday or Thursday. They called me at work on a Friday and they was like, Miss Smalls, you need to go to the hospital emergency room ASAP.
Mm.
They didn't tell me why or any of that, y'all. Any of that. So you know me, I didn't go right away. I didn't go till that Saturday because it was my birthday that Saturday, and I went after that. So I get to the hospital on September the 1st, and my doctor said, "Call me when you get there to the emergency room." I get to the emergency room. Mind you, I walked in the emergency room, and I was trying to go home, but they wouldn't let me home. And the guy came to me and he showed me my scan, and I was like, "Who neck is that?" They was like, "That's your neck." I was like, "What you mean?" They was like, "That's your neck." They was like, "I had a bone in my neck that was broke." So the bone in my neck that was broke, it was broken from I want to say the early 1980s to
Wow.
2012.
Wow.
So I had to have emergency surgery on September 13th. But before all that, you guys, they was putting all these things on my wrist, talking about wrist fall and all that other stuff. So I wasn't paying attention to none of that. I was just trying to get out that hospital. So September the 13th, I had surgery. While in surgery, one of my lungs collapsed. I
Mm.
end up being on a feeding tube. I end up being on a ventilator, and I was paralyzed from my neck down. I couldn't do absolutely anything. And if you don't know too much about paralysis patients, I had the same injury that Christopher Reeves had. The only thing is my cord did not sever. So that was my life changing situation, not being able to move. And I just didn't understand it. It just struck me to my core. And hearing the doctors say that I would never walk again,
Mm.
I was on a feeding tube, so I would have been tube fed. Just the whole 9 yards. I just kept hearing them say, "I would never, I would never, I would never." So doctor came in there one last time and he was like, "Miss Smalls, you will be going home in a wheelchair for the rest of your life."
Mm.
I told the doctor, excuse my expression, I told them they had me effed up. But I said the word effed up.
Mm-hmm.
So for a long time I was in the power wheelchair. I told them that I was gonna run away. I remember telling them that while I was in the wheelchair. So they took the power wheelchair from me, put me in the manual wheelchair, and I'm like, how I supposed to use the manual wheelchair? Told me I had to figure it out. So I left the hospital considered a paraplegic.
Mm.
I cried because I didn't like that word. I didn't like the word handicap. I didn't like depending on nobody. I just knew that wasn't going to be me. But if you keep hearing those same words, people give up. I couldn't give up. I couldn't give up because I had two kids. Two kids. TJ was grown. She was her first year in college. Again, excuse me. It was TJ's first year in college. Um, And I remember telling TJ I was in the hospital. I would talk to TJ every day. TJ is my oldest kid. I would talk to her every day, but I hadn't talked to her for a long time. TJ ink wasn't dry on her driver's license. So I let her take her car her second year. She was coming to see her mother. She took all she had to come and see her mother. And when I was in that hospital, y'all, I just kept on saying, my life, my kids, my life, my kids. I wasn't even sleeping, y'all. Then I started hallucinating between not sleeping and being on them drugs. And I remember when my aunt came to see me, she asked my aunt, do I ever sleep? I don't know what my aunt told that lady, but eventually I fell asleep. And my aunt said, I'm gonna be here when you wake up. That's what made me go to sleep, for her to say, I'll be here when you wake up. When you're in the hospital, and I'm just saying, not being able to do for yourself. I couldn't call nobody, y'all. I was on the ventilator, so couldn't nobody hear me. I couldn't write. I couldn't do none of that. And I'm like, how? Just kept asking the question, how, if I walked in this hospital, why I can't walk? Just why?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I told myself, I said, self, mind you, I came home and I had a I was just so distraught, guys. I told them to put me in a rehabilitation center. I said, just take me there. I said, then y'all ain't got to worry about doing nothing for me. I didn't want the burden to be on my husband at the time, nor did I want it to be on my daughter. You got to start believing in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, ain't nobody else going to believe you. Ain't nobody else going to believe you. What made me really rejoice in my heart and knew that my daughter really loved me, TJ had an academic scholarship, y'all. She was smart as a whip. Smart as a whip. She had French and English. TJ know French very well. TJ had an academic scholarship in West Virginia. My daughter gave up that scholarship, came home and took care of me. While she took care of me during the day, my husband at the time would take care of me when he got off work. TJ went to PG, got her credits up, and TJ went on the Eastern Shore. Y'all, my daughter is not only does she has a bachelor's degree, she also has a master's degree, and I applaud her for that. So I know I'm a little sucker, a little softy, but I don't. This is normally not me. Lawana would tell you, I wouldn't crumble. I wouldn't crumble it at all. So this is the soft emotional side you see. I humbled myself completely when I was on my sick bed.
Mm.
Completely. And I just look at life, I just look at life different now. And I look at life different now because I was once this way and now I'm this way. And when I see certain things, I just get emotional because I'm like, it was a dog barking. I be like, why is life like this? Why do we have to be this way? And I go back to the sinful thing that Adam and Eve did in the Garden of Eden. That's why we get sick, grow old, and die. But I never thought in a million years that I'd be this way today. Never, never, never. But I'm humble, guys. I'm humble. Very humble. Very humble.
So so where did you find, I know you spoke about it a little bit, but where did you find the strength to fight for your life?
Um,
While you, I mean, because even during Moosie's death, you were still fighting to get back your being normal, like, living your normal life and your normalcy. And then on top of that, that happened um with
That's
your son.
true. But I'm gonna back up just a little bit because I didn't add the part that my mom died May 2014. 3 months later, Moosey passed August 2014. So it's been hard. Um, um, I've been battling with depression, trying to understand why. And like I said, my sister keep on saying my mom was manipulated. I blame my mother for a lot of stuff. Um, made my mother so rest. I mean, I think first and foremost, my mom, she I don't know how to describe my mom, but I remember growing up that she told me that this one guy who's deceased now, that me and my brother, one of my, it's 8 of us, by the way, that one of my brother and I had the same father. But like 2 years after the guy that she said was my father had passed away, she told me that my father lived where I was working at one time. And I was like scratching my head. I was about 10, y'all. And I was like, oh, I thought you said my father was dead. But my aunt confirmed the story. I just don't know his name. So I didn't have a father growing up. The guy my mother was dating or whatever, I didn't consider him as being no father. So my fight to live and to keep going was to tell my story to somebody else, because somebody else might be going through, if not the same thing, they might be going through a storm. And to weather that storm, everybody fight is different. Everybody walk in life is different. Everybody cards dealt to them is different. It's how you play your cards. It's really how you play your cards. So to keep me going, I had faith. I believed in myself when nobody else believed in me. I have had things done to me in the condition that I am in now. I had names called, but I blocked that out, and it came from people that were close to me that you never thought that would. I mean, I'm already tore down, but my grandmother used to say, "Sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt." That's not a true fact. Words do hurt. They hurt, and those words stuck with me. I don't play with me and don't play with my kids. I don't care how old I get. Don't play with my kids. Don't play with
Yeah.
my kids. So you got to believe in yourself. Believe in you first before you let anybody else tell you you can't do this, do this. I never listened to those things. What really woke me up, Lawana, was when I was in that hospital bed in that room and I would ask TJ or my husband to do something for me. Okay, I'm gonna do it. To me, it wasn't fast enough. It probably was fast enough to them, but it wasn't fast enough to me. So I said, I'm gonna get out this bed one day. I'm gonna get out this bed. So I called TJ. Then I couldn't take a shower by myself. Somebody had to be in the bathroom with me because they had to wheel me into the bathroom to take a shower. So I asked my husband for peace one day. I said, please just let me wash up by myself. Just wash up by myself. He told me no. He was like, why you want to play when it ain't the right time to play? I'm not in my mind, y'all. I'm not playing. I'm dead serious. This is what I wanted to do. In my mind, I could do it, y'all. I knew I could do it, but physically, I couldn't do it. And that's the part that really tore me up, that I couldn't physically do it. I wanted to do it by myself. It didn't happen. And I know a lot of people ask when I say this, I had to literally learn how to do everything all over. You got the concept, but actually doing it, I couldn't do it. I mean, it was the smallest things, the smallest things. Lift your leg up. I'm trying. I, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
Mm,
But
mm,
CJ, I would ask her to do certain things. She wouldn't let me do it either at first. I remember one day I came in from physical therapy. I was sitting right here. TJ was in the kitchen talking to Rob on the phone. I wanted something, y'all. I knew I physically couldn't do it, but guess what? I tried. And that's the first thing you gotta do. You gotta try. And I tried. I failed. So the doctor asked me if something happened to you, what would you do? I tell him, I said, I won't try it again. But I kept trying. I kept trying. I said, TJ, I said, in my mind, y'all, I said, I could walk. I
mm.
could walk. That's all I kept on saying. I could walk. TJ walked me down this hall. Y'all, I just cried. I just cried because I was like, I do it. And I kept trying, kept trying, kept trying, kept trying. And my kept trying, y'all, got me to this today. I could walk. I walk with a limp. I call it a pimp. Uh, I I drive.
Yep.
I dress myself. I bathe myself. I cook my own food. I could cook a spread for anybody. Anybody. Um, I
She
exercise Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
she be lifting
Um,
weights. She be lifting weights.
I work out from 5:45 till about 7:30 in the morning. And guess what, guys? Guess what? I surprised myself. I keep saying I could do it. I could do it. I tried Zumba for the first time on Monday. So now I do Zumba at the Merlin Park and Learning Center. So, like I said, believe in yourself. If don't nobody else believe in you, believe in yourself.
And
Believe in
and
yourself.
and you and your daughter are the one who got me going to a trainer
Yeah, I
because I
remember you
came
asked it.
and worked out with you guys because TJ lost that all that weight and I came and actually started working out with you guys. You went on to a different trainer, but I'm still with the same trainer. But just to see her, because I remember coming to see you in the hospital.
Yep, I remember too. I remember you and
I
Sherman
remember,
standing at
yeah,
the foot of my bed. I
yeah.
remember.
And I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't believe it. And then to see you in the gym doing what you're doing, and then to see videos recently of what you're doing, that ain't nothing but God. That ain't nothing but God. And you made
Believe.
sure, when you made sure, I'm going to do this, I can do this. And like you said, believing in yourself. But I want to ask you, what would you tell sitting right here today? And if you can talk to your younger self who was going through the pain you was going through and didn't understand it, what would you tell her now?
I would
What
say
message
self.
would you have for her?
I would say self. Knowing the things that I know now that I didn't know then, I would say self. Believe in yourself. Love you for who you are. Don't change for nobody. Let somebody come to you and change your standards. Don't let nobody change your standards. I mean, um, it says the opposite attracts. So you don't want nobody that's just like you. You want somebody that's different. You want somebody that's going to elevate you or encourage you or love you like you love yourself. Because can't nobody love you like you love yourself. When I said I coming up, I had no love for myself. I wasn't loved. At least I didn't think I was. My mother didn't show me love. Uh, the loving came from my aunt and my grandmother because we all grew up in the same house. My cousins and us, we all grew up in the same house, and my mother allowed this man to pull us apart. And if I could say anything to my family, I love y'all. They was the ones that was coming to the hospital. The one, I loved you like you a sister. You always been there. And I've been knowing you for 25,
Mm-hmm.
26 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing changed is my outer appearance. And
Mm-hmm.
because this is in my mind, y'all, it's only in my mind. I know it's not true. But when I go out, I always think somebody is staring at me. People that I know that I haven't seen, and when they see me now, I just think they look at me different. But again, it's only in my mind. It's something that internally I have to deal with. I have to deal with. And I just wanted to let me see this 1 minute, mama. I just wanted to show you guys just one thing, and this is what I struggle with. I struggle with this every day because I do have I still have left side paralysis. Um, my body don't know how to regulate temperature, so I can be regulated on the right side, but on the left side, I would easily burn or it'll be cold. It just won't be right.
Right,
Okay, baby,
right, right.
wait 1 second. I used to be out on the foot almost booty. I used to be out on the football field every day with my son,
Mm-hmm.
running and enjoying life. Not saying that I can't enjoy life anymore. I just have to do it in a different way. And it's okay to be different. But
Yes,
it
it
took me a
is.
while to learn that it's okay to be different. I just felt like people was disrespectful to handicapped people. I'm not sure if y'all can see this. Can you see this?
A little bit. That's just fine. Or your neck.
Well, this is where I'm fused at. I'm fused from the top of my head from C1 through C5.
Oh
So
wow.
this fusion prevents me from I can go left, but only to a certain degree. I can look right, up and down. So but it affects me when I'm asleep. My body stiffens up. It's just a whole
Mm.
lot for me to get up out of bed and to
Yeah.
get to where I'm at. Cause like I said, I started my neck. I started suffering from depression. I started not wanting to be around people.
Yeah.
My girlfriend, one of my girlfriends invited me to a little spot, and I've only gone twice. And like I said, it's in my mind. I saw Shannon, and I think that was Tasha that was with her.
Mm,
Was
probably.
the twins? Yeah, I saw them at the
Tasha.
little
Mm.
thing, and I've yet to go back out, and that's because I think, like I said, my own personal opinion. I just have these feelings that I'm not complete when I'm with somebody that don't have to depend on nothing.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Well, what is next for you? So what is your what's next in your journey? I know that you're constantly working out, being mobile and everything else, but what is next? Have you ever thought about maybe writing a memoir or a book or something
You know
like
what?
that
Somebody
to
asked me to write a memoir, a book. As a matter of fact, when I tell my story, people always encourage me to write a book. But what I really want to do is to be on a bigger platform for people who have injuries. And when I say injuries, I'm talking about life changing injuries, where it's that the doctors impute motives that you won't be able to do this and you won't be able to do that, because that's what a lot that's why a lot of people are like they are, because the doctor said that you can't or you won't, and they instantly in their mind they give up. But I never gave up. I never gave
Mm.
up, and I'm not going to give up. I'm gonna keep on doing me. Try not to step on nobody's toes. I stay out of people's way.
Okay, tell her we almost finished, grandbaby.
I stay out of people's way. Stay out of people's way and just mind TC business. I don't mind nobody else business. So
Okay, okay. So
that's me.
I'm gonna ask this last question and we can end here, but can you just speak to, I guess, people that's in wheelchairs that don't think they're gonna get out, or people that have been injured, or people that have lost children, which you did speak to already, but can you just give us some insight and some kind words before we get off the platform?
Um, like I said, the first thing you want to do is believe in yourself. You must have faith when you open your eyes every night and before you close your eyes. Make sure you give all the glory and honor to your Father God Jehovah. Um, and when you going through something, and it happens to me too, you kind of like give up because you don't see a change.
Mm,
And that's what happened to me the first time. Um, I didn't see a change. I didn't see a difference. Like they gave me something small to do, was like you know, go up on your tippy toes. In my mind, I could do it, but when I tried to do it, I couldn't do it. That discouraged me. Everything like discouraged me. Don't think it's gonna happen overnight, and that's one of the things my then husband told me. He was like, the only thing is instant. It's like when you turn it on. So you're not gonna see a change right away, and that ate me up too. That I didn't see the change, but looking back then to now, I do see the change. I do
yeah,
see the change. I stuck to it. I stuck with
yeah.
it. As
And
a
you
matter of
still
fact,
doing it. And you still
yeah, I
doing it.
am. I am still doing it.
You're still doing it.
I'm proud of myself. Yeah, I'm proud
Yeah.
of myself, and like I could say, God is good, and that's who the praise go to. The praise go to God. It really does. And if you don't believe, if you don't believe, I suggest you pick up the Bible, go to your the religion of your choice, and see if somebody can help you believe, because there is a God out there. Trust me,
Yeah.
there is a God out there.
Yes, it is. So how can my people follow you to continue to see your journey, continue to
Um,
speak life into you, to continue to just, to see what else you gonna do? Because I'm excited.
so I do have a Facebook platform. My Facebook platform is my name, Theresa Smalls. I'm on this journey. One thing that I did forget to say is that before my surgery, I was making enough money to take care of my house. But when I left my job, I didn't leave my job. They end up terminating me because I was in a hospital. So I don't make the figures that I was making anymore. So I have to rely on my daughter. I do work from home, but the pay is not all that great. If somebody is out there listening, I'm the same person. I could do the same thing. Just help me get those figures that I was making, even if it's a part-time job. Just
Yeah.
help me help myself, so to speak. a lot of people think I can't do because of the left side, but they have things out there for people that has different
Yep.
disabilities.
Yeah.
So yeah, if anybody
Okay.
can help me, just help me that way and just keep following me. You can see I try to post something different because the things that my trainer be having me to do in my mind, I don't think I can do it. But he say, Miss T, you could do it. You could
Mm.
do it. You could
Yeah.
do it.
Your trainer is something else.
Yeah.
I'm scared. I'm scared of her trainer.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lou scared her trainer. Well, we have some before we go. We got some great comments. I always like the show. Thank you, Tia Grace. Thank you, Jovita, for watching. Thank you, Georgette, for watching as well. But Tia Graves, this is another young lady. She have written books on grief. Yes, there is a God. She's mighty powerful. Keep fighting and encouraging Miss Smalls. She's also an author, multi books, but she also helps people publish their books as well. So that's why
Okay.
I asked you. Yes, yes. She's like, it's okay to be different. That's what Jovita said. Enjoy life in a different way. Jovita said, can't nobody love you but you. Great.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies. Self believe in yourself. That's enough. Come on, somebody. Look at God. I know I had to learn to do everything all over again. She has been going through health issues as well. So she's also a testimony. Words do hurt.
You want to say, oh,
And then we
wow.
had, I humble myself completely on my sick bed. I know what you mean. Exactly. And she also said, congratulations to your daughter. That's phenomenal. And then she said so much stuff. Then we had my girlfriend. She was like, hey, ladies.
Hey,
But I just
hey,
want to
Georgette.
say, I just want to say thank you for sharing your story. I know it's been a long time coming, but she was like, I'm ready. I was like, okay, let's get it done. Let's get it done. But I know, we've been friends for a long time. Anything you need, I'm here. We get wrapped up with the day to day every day, but I am here, phone call away. Sierra's here, Big Sherman's here, Trey, Kiera. We family, always have been family, and we're gonna continue to pray you on. Cause I
I
mean,
appreciate
coming
it.
from coming from the surgery I seen you laying there, and what you doing now, it ain't nothing but God. It ain't nothing but
Absolutely.
God, and
Absolutely.
that's your testimony, and you keep telling
Absolutely.
it. You keep telling it because you deserve a bigger
Absolutely.
platform to tell your story because it's amazing. It's amazing. But I just want to say thank you for tuning in to another show on YBC Youth Building Conversations. Look at the baby girl right there.
It
That's
is. She
okay.
just was eating.
That's okay. She can talk. It's all right. She been good. Um, so I will be coming back with another story. Supposed to be a fella from Portland, Oregon, that's gonna come on and tell you about his story and how he got into gospel rap. And when I tell you he
Okay.
got lyrics, he got lyrics. So stay
Okay.
tuned, stay safe, have a great weekend. People in Florida, please be safe. If you're traveling on a plane going south, make sure you check the weather to make sure that the rain has not hit in certain areas that you're going. And always remember, keep your mask on because we still got COVID out here. And
Yes.
yeah, stay safe. So
All
I just
right.
want to say, have a good
Thank you.
evening. Stay
You
on,
do the
TC.
same.
Stay
All
on,
right.
TC.
Okay.